Uh, yeah. Yeah.
Hello. Let's take action streaming. We're doing this thing right now. Welcome. Joining the booth by Chris Priest
Long time
tonight.
no see.
Yeah.
Long time no magic.
Yeah. Long time no magics. All right. I better start this fucking clock here. That's important and all that.
Got matching sleeves on the table here. Hope no fumble fingers happen.
Right. All right. So we got Tom Books on some scam. We got Fabio on some fucking Jeskai control. He says control. I just said Jeskai because you know.
That was my question. As I see Jeskai, what flavor are we talking here?
Who even knows what anything is anymore? I feel like the entire game has just become mid-range. It's either
true.
aggro or mid-range or combo. It's aggro, mid-range, combo. There is no more control, really.
No, I've not seen it do great. Everything that I've watched recently.
All right.
You can get a good look at his hand.
Try.
Soft-flooded strain, that's a good sign. It's like Tom is on a mulligan.
Those were the go. All right. Whoop. He's got some bolts. Does not have the grief.
No,
does
that looks like
He's got a
very
Voidwalker.
Very anemic starting hand. Against Jeskai control.
Yeah. Yeah, his choice is keeping which 2-drop to keep. I think he's going to keep the Bowmaster, which is probably better in this situation than the Voidwalker.
Definitely looks like Jeskai control. Oh, with Narsets. I've been seeing those pop up more in the coverage I've been watching.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably about time for it.
Yeah, is there a reason that I've missed, or is it just kind of making its way back?
I can't track exactly. It's
Okay.
some pro did it in some
Sure.
thing on some stream or in some tournament. I don't fucking know, Chris. You know me. I just look at the cards and determine their quality on my own.
Well, you're a good guy for knowing cards. What card did Jeskai deck? What is that card in front of his hand?
That is a lightning bolt. One of the now 30 artworks
Yeah.
of lightning bolt. That's where we're at. Great times.
Tom better do something.
Well, he's got this Bowmaster. He's holding it up, so
Does.
that's what he's gonna do at the end of. Yep. There's that.
But Bowmaster gets, binding. The token gets
Every
bounced
dude,
by...
everything does.
Everything
Everything gets removed. It's fine. It's whatever. All that you have to have in this game now is action. As long as you have action, then it's fine. I have that argument with Dustin constantly because like my golden rule for Modern is as long as a card does something, and I think even like incremental things are acceptable as long as it does something.
Sure.
Whereas like certain things to him, like we had an argument about Fairy Seer because Isaiah played a fucking Wizards deck.
Oh, I remember.
He threw a Fairy Seer in there. And I'm like, hey man, it fucking does something. Like, it's bullshit. It just scries. It's not good enough. Like, well, it does something.
There's
Like,
a thing that
at
it
least
does.
there's that. Yeah.
Now this is interesting. It looks like I just missed that Brandon didn't crack in hope of finding a third land
And then didn't.
yet, and
Yeah.
so is now cracking it again, not playing mana.
That's-
He's gonna find that his hand's full, and he's just gonna die with a bunch of spells in his hand.
Oh no, he got a third. Oh, that's what he's doing. That's why there's an Narset. The Gaia Reach thing, which I think is like kind of atrocious. I'm not a huge fan
Now
of
that seems anemic.
Yeah.
But I think his plan now is that's a Supreme Brictus on his hand. That must be. He's just hoping to hit that.
All right, bolt the Narset, get that out of there.
A little bit of value loss there for Tom. Definitely should have made him make the choice before bolting the Narset.
Right. Getting a land cycle with that card. That's a card.
That's a card
buddy.
that I don't know.
That's a card you need to play. That's Lorien Revealed. 5 mana sorcery, 1 mana island cycling. The sorceries just draw 3 cards.
That seems okay.
It's fucking good, dude. It's a card that you would love. All right, we got the Fury pitch thing going on here. Does he have... He has a Solitude in hand, so he should be... I mean, does he not have a white card to pitch the Solitude? Because, like, that probably would have been fair enough to do.
Well, Tom hasn't taken his attack yet or anything, I don't think. So. We're just waiting down step.
Yeah, he has no targets for it, so it's a kind of desperate Fury anyway.
Yeah. He knows that attacking for 2 every turn is not really going to do it.
Yeah. Scamming a Fury just to have a big beer on the board is definitely like... You don't feel super good about it, I'd have to imagine.
What is this?
That is... Scam got a incidental upgrade from the Eldraine set. It's another Scam card, but it comes back in with a aura token attached to it that gives it +1/+1, and when it dies, each opponent loses a life.
Okay.
So that's the new addition to Scam. Again, this best deck's getting more cards.
Yeah,
that's
what I
the
was gonna say. Scam did not need. Well, it looks like he found land number 4, so if that was a Supreme Verdict, then he's looking real good. Fetching a basic says Supreme Verdict.
Now, Tom, I think I saw another Scam card in Tom's
Yeah,
hand.
if he has another one and can just attack for 8 next turn after the board wipe, that would be something.
Yeah, I think he... No? Sweeping it up? Okay. All right, well, Tom has not much now. Now, let's see exactly what he does have. Land. Show us, Tom. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Tom has nothing. Moving on. Now Brandon has everything.
Yes, this.
So this is pretty arguably kind of over.
Oh yeah. Now, if you didn't know what Brandon was playing, though, I think that the opening hand was fine.
Yeah.
Bowmasters and
No,
Fury,
it's. I mean, you can't. Yeah, it was fine.
But definitely an awful hand against specifically a control deck.
Well, a deck that is intended to take cards out of its own hand, like you're
Yeah.
banking, like that's the whole bit is doing that. It's got to feel bad to mulligan it all. I would think. I don't really play these decks, so it's not my jam. I did play a version once, and I'm like, no, this is incredibly lame and boring. I'm
I
not
feel
gonna
bad
do this
when I
ever
lose
again.
and when I win.
Yeah, like it's just not. There's no feel goods here. Oh, that sucks balls. I feel like I would have just held on to that at this point. Well, no, I need Fury mana, I guess. All right, don't play any more lands.
No.
Let him guess. He needs a Mount Doom. I think they like played that for a week and then cut it, which I feel like why not just keep it because it's just an inevitability. Teferi, I like getting the Teferi down.
Yeah, I'm curious why he didn't play anything last turn, or did
Probably holding up Solitude. Yeah. I think it is wise to get the Teferi down. One thing that is super fun with Teferi and the new card is being able to plus, pass, and then draw 3 cards with that Island Cycling Sorcery at instant speed.
Is Gaia Reach Sanitarium 1 to activate?
No, it's 2.
I would have really liked to leave up Bluff Counterspell mana then.
Yeah. That would have been the right thing. For sure. Brandon is new to control, and those little things, that's like, you got to be in the game for a while to think about those things, those subtle things.
Because, like, as it is, I'm sure you draw and play a Fury. If you bluff Counterspell, you probably are waiting to double spell if you're Tom.
Oh, he's got a Ragavan.
Or maybe you don't play Ragavan until you can double spell.
Well, you got to do something. I mean,
you got
to do something. You can't just sit around. That's one thing that new players playing against control decks want to do. They get scared of counterspell, scared of removal, and you just have to play it well. But you have to jam like at a certain point. You have to play cards.
I remember this exact conversation with my brother when he would play against my deck. He'd be like, "You never play anything." He's like, "You're just going to counterspell it." Like, well, if you don't play it, I don't even have to do that.
Yeah, exactly. You're doing my job for me. What the fuck? All right. Yeah, I mean, this is
Tom
just
realistically could just concede.
He should concede at this point.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, this is gone. There's nothing he could top deck that could mean anything here.
Certainly, when you see your opponent play the no value Solitude. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You got it.
All right, there it is.
Yeah. There we go. Tom agrees.
All right. So that game goes to Fabio.
Well, you know I'm a lover of Jeskai. So you have that 5-mana sorcery, which, as you mention it, I do remember it. I thought I saw a white card in his hand that I didn't recognize. Yeah, that as well. Is that
I just missed it.
Is that the new white remand, maybe?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
He's a fan of that card.
Okay, that's probably it. Better than Remand, if I remember right.
It is better than your
Better
main,
than Remand.
technically. Yeah. I haven't, surprisingly, I haven't played with it myself yet. That's a card that's right up my alley because I am a very white player, but haven't got around to
We'll
it
leave
yet.
it to you, John, to make the blue-white Remand plus that Lord of the Rings card, I think it was. Deck.
Yeah.
That's just...
Oh,
no,
dude.
never
So,
resolved.
Aethersworn Cannon this, buddy. That's what you do there.
Oh, so they can only play one spell.
Yeah. Way back in the day, I had a Stoneforge deck that worked with that. Like Tide Hellish Colors and that shit. Oh, so good. All right, bring in some Toroks. Those are good. Phyrexian Metamorph to copy something. Maybe assuming he's got one ring.
So, I mean...
Which that's indicative of how fucked the game state is
Yeah.
in the meta when, like, that's... You just have to have that and have to do that.
Someone's here to make an appointment with you.
Okay. Chris?
Oh God, no, I'm so alone. Why does this always happen to me? Everybody leaves. Ooh, thinking about... Hope not, rest in peace. Not to veto that. It's probably not good enough either. Hallowed Moonlight is also probably a little bit slow, I would think, against Scam. By the time you can cast it, he's already, in his mind, hopefully used all that stuff. So did he put the Hallowed Moonlight in, or is he keeping it out for a minute? Hallowed Moonlight not going in. Is going in. Is going in. I don't think I like that. And as I was watching Jeskai, I was not watching Tom Books. But then this match feels very much... it's so first, probably 2 turns oriented. If Tom can't tear apart the Jeskai deck's hand, then Jeskai deck is just going to come over the top with relative ease. But in general, I've had trouble against the Scam deck. It just feels like they always go off on turn 1. But again, Tom has nothing. Nothing that beats a single removal spell. I think I would throw that hand away if I were Tom. Doesn't feel like, unless I'm misreading cards here, it doesn't feel like something that wins. And the Jeskai hand's not great either. 2 lands. Kept a similar hand game 1. Didn't get punished. May make him a little bit brave. Hey, didn't get punished again. Oh, this is every combo-y deck's problem. They have the wrong half of the puzzle. Is that the neg 1 guy? The Noxious guy? Couldn't be. Or it's Orcish Bowmaster, and I just don't recognize the art yet. I'm going to go with that. Indeed, that was the thing to go with. So Tom's start is going to be pretty much exactly what it was last game, except he is going to have backup again, or backup against the Supreme Verdict, which is good. Okay, cards out of your hand, Jeskai deck. Prediction. Jeskai loses this game, he's going to lose with that card still in his hand. But I'm sure he just wanted all 5 colors. Yeah, it's another fetch. You get all 5 colors anyway.
Okay. Anything exciting happening? Probably not.
Not really. It looks like another relatively anemic start from Tom, except he does have additional ways to protect his threats this time
That's good.
with Undying Evil and whatnot.
And he has more threats, so he didn't have to mulligan, I assume?
He did not.
Okay, that's a good start.
Jeskai, he brought in Hallowed Moonlight, which I guess this is the reason you're playing it, but feels really a turn too
Clunky.
slow
Yeah,
for this deck.
yeah, definitely. Here's Thoughtseize.
Also, last turn, Brandon decided not to white remand the Dauthi Voidwalker, and like I see him dying with
This
that,
thing in
that
hand.
white remand
Yeah,
in his hand.
yeah. Yeah. If you bring the shit in, you got to be prepared to play it.
Yeah, you got to throw these things out there.
All right, so the Howled Moonlight is now gone. Is it? Or-
No, I assume. Yeah, he took it to Fairy.
Oh, okay. Still has that. Okay, he's going to go ahead and sack the Voidwalker. That's pretty decent.
So how does Orcish Bowmaster read, in case I'm forgetting something?
If an opponent, when he enters or when the opponent draws a card that's not the first card they draw each turn, you do a damage and make an or amass an army.
Okay.
Which is not amassing anything, it's just making a dude bigger.
Yeah.
Steroids in orc. Juice him up.
Yeah. It's the same as the zombies. When was that mass zombies? The same mechanic.
Yeah, that was the laziest thing they did in Lord of the Rings. By just, here's another mechanic.
Yeah.
But we're just adding a word.
Yeah, literally the same thing. He
Alright.
got value off the Hallowed Moonlight, but that was. Oh, look.
Alright.
It did something, which was more than I was afraid it was going to do. So
It did. There is no more Dauthi Voidwalker. It does not enter. It is exiled.
I'm not really sure. What was Tom just throwing a spell out to try to make Dauthi bigger for the next turn?
No, he was casting.
Oh, he was casting,
Yeah, he was
okay.
casting to Fairy. Which is definitely solid for him here. So
Mhm.
not bad at all. But I mean, there is some good interaction on Fabio's side, so see, he's just got the Undying and 2 Undyings.
This is why I would have liked remanding the Dauthi Voidwalker if the turn it got played.
Yeah. I mean, that's where that's what the cards are for, folks.
That is a card that is best in the early game because they don't get to just replay their stuff. Draws you another card.
Yeah, it is specifically for the first few turns, unless you have some shenanigans, as aforementioned, with like Aethersworn Canonist or something.
Yeah.
Outside of that, like you lose a lot of premium after turn 2, turn 3.
Especially against a deck like this that has 1 and 2 mana threats and then free threats.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
just
Exactly. All right, we're gonna get a verdict.
yeah. Tom's opening hand had 2 or 3 of the like Undying Evil effects,
Right.
so he's gonna do pretty well with his Orcish
Those
Bowmaster
things
here.
are pretty annoying, and so
They turn out clutch when they really shouldn't, especially against White, because White is just 4 different premium exile effects.
but
Like
nobody
that
plays
card-
them anymore.
No,
Nobody does it anymore, Chris.
I don't.
You know who does? This guy. I'm the only guy I know. I rock Place at a Path. And you know what? It feels fucking good.
It should at this stage, especially you see them play the Omnath lands to begin with. You're like, oh, you have 2 of these basics
Yeah.
in your deck. Like,
Oh yeah,
we're
for
getting
sure.
you.
All right, so not the best Supreme Verdict for Fabio.
No, it was awful.
Having the extra reanimation stuff.
That was about as bad as it could be.
The Soul Avenger. Yeah, thank you, man, for tuning in. I tell people all the time that Path to Exile is still good. Nobody wants to believe me, but god damn it, I'll die on that sword.
Absolutely, it was still good.
All right, so yeah, Brandon seems just fucked here. I
Yeah.
think he's just dead. So
I don't know what he plays to
there's nothing to get out of this.
like
Really.
another Supreme Verdict gets him to
something,
something.
unless Tom just
Has
draws another one of those stupid derpy cards.
well, and he still has Dash Ragavan after a Supreme
Yeah,
Verdict.
yeah,
So
exactly.
like it keeps him alive, but
Not really.
Nah, yeah, it keeps him alive, but not really.
It buys
It's
him a
life support.
turn,
It's
but
life
it's not
support.
going to win a game by any means. So he's got that wonky remand. He's got a bolt. He's got
We're done.
Orion revealed, a bunch of lands. Yeah, I mean, I think it's always good to play the game out, I guess, most of the time, but... Oh,
Yeah,
shit, do it! Oh, you can't because of the Teferi you let him have.
It's over. It's over. Oh.
Almost.
Prediction, I'm a fortune teller. He died with that card in his hand.
All right.
Show me the top card. What would you have had?
Let's see if he changes any sideboarding. Sure, Tom is not. Sure, Tom's like, yeah, this is sweet.
I wonder if Brandon does take out the Hallowed Moonlights. Like, you got a Dothy Voidwalker, but...
I think I don't know. I think the Hallowed Moonlight's probably more relevant than the Remand at this point.
Well, that's my question. It's like, what can you bring in at this stage? Because he has several cards that just don't feel great.
Yeah. I'm sure he probably... I don't know. Maybe not. That is the thing. There's a lot going on in the modern meta that you have to be, to a degree, prepared for. So it might have a really diverse sideboard and doesn't really have anything much for this match. Mm-hmm. The Remand probably would have been perfectly fine if he would have pulled the trigger when he could have.
Oh, if he would have pulled the trigger, the game looks different. The Dothy Voidwalker's not on the field, doesn't put the Teferi under it. Like, there's just... everything is different in the game. He has a different card in his hand.
Yeah. So I think that... And the Moonlight's probably arguably fine, too. It's just all timing. But I am super hesitant myself to bank on... Like, I hate that element, like, you have to see this card when you need to see it, so if you don't, then it's fucking trash.
The deck now, like you see from Tom, he has Orcish Bowmasters, he has Dothy Voidwalkers, you can assume that he has the guy that's pro-white. Like, he has a bunch of threats that don't care about coming into the battlefield off of his little cheaty scam shit.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're swinging against a little less than half of his deck with that.
Yeah, exactly. When it could just be good premium white removal.
Then again, like you said, he might not have better options in sideboard anymore. Like, he just, that could be, this one cycles itself and gives me a bit of value.
Well, and it could be, at this point, it could be in the main with as much as this shit is around. I mean, there's 3 living end decks in the room.
Yeah.
So,
I
know.
That was a question I was going to ask. Like, Dress Down, is that still being played in main boards?
I don't see it at all anymore. Which I don't know how or why. Well, we see it some. We see it some. You could ask Isaiah how prevalent it is, because he's been running the gamut on big events.
Yes.
So he could definitely tell you.
Uh-oh. Found
Locally?
a good hand. As long as there's a... Oh, there's not a scam effect, so there's no grief turn 1.
There's no... Well, I mean...
Well, there's no value.
He could, yeah.
He could double...
Does this hand look good enough for Fabio's end, though? I don't know
double
that it does.
Supreme Verdict.
That reprieve thing that he's probably scared to play.
2 lands and the Island Cycler, it looks like.
That looks fine, I suppose. So plays it right. Don't be scared of this reprieve.
Well, but you always see that. I see throwing that back. I get it, but also,
I think it was safe
against specifically the scam deck. You know that your hands, like, if they do anything like what they want to do, your hands ripped apart in the first
Exactly.
So
yeah, I if you have a keepable hand against this match, I think you keep it. Yeah, I agree with that.
Is Brandon playing with a companion that I didn't?
Kahira. It's the elemental one.
I had been reading that has gone out of favor or kind of dropped in popularity, but
I think so. I think a lot of them have. Because the format keeps getting faster and more powerful, so like it's still free enough, but I don't know. I still don't see if you're playing a control deck. Well, and it's just weird to be in an age where Snap is just non-existence.
That was my thing. Like,
just because there's so many permanents that people play now, they shouldn't have made. Yeah, they shouldn't have made the pitch elementals creatures.
No,
they should have just been pitch cards. MH1 had it perfect. They should have just kept doing that. There should have been more MH1 style pitch cards in MH2. That would also have been a great distinction between modern and legacy. But what do I know? I'm just some asshole tattoo artist that owns a little tiny store in Indiana.
So this hand looks worse than the first one to me because it's less interactive.
Yeah, he just has a Narset that's not going to buy him that much. He does have
the binding. There's no way it stays.
The binding is trash in this hand because he has not the land types. That's why I hate that fucking card. And I won't play it You have this, but he's putting that back, so never mind. He could have set up the binding maybe, but now he can't. I would have maybe put that back. I don't know.
I think he's banking on hitting Narset.
Dude, he's not hitting anything because he should be anticipating his hand's going to get destroyed. Because it may not grief you, but they are going to thought seize you.
Yep. you are getting hit with something.
Yeah.
He is, and you say he's a little newer to control. If he's newer to Matt, he might not realize how lucky he was those first 2 games, not to just get ripped by discard spells the first 2 turns.
He's played enough to know that for sure. But all right, so now we got a double grief.
At
Still no scam. I think you just get the Douthie down.
Yeah.
Or do that. That's good too. Like in this situation, it's great. He wouldn't know that it's great.
I was wondering about this. I'm not sure that I like it.
I don't like.
Just because the hand's not very good anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so now what do you do? I would have pitched the other grief instead of the Douthie.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, like with him at 2 cards, I would have put that bitch back on top. All right, let's see what he got. Just Misty. Nothing to see here. I'm not a huge fan of pitching the Douthie there.
No. I get the thinking is, what are they playing? How many, I guess they're called scam effects, are they playing in this deck now? Like 8? More than 8? So he's just assuming,
probably 8.
Like
I can't imagine they're playing more than 8.
Like he has up to 3 mana after his... So 1 more land. Nope, he has all 4 mana necessary to play it on curve, so...
Yeah.
But, I mean, he has all 2 mana necessary to play Dauthi Voidwalker.
Yeah.
Plus, there's the psych element.
I mean, when you can get Douthie, I don't know. Yeah, I think both lines are probably fine.
Yeah, I think they're fine.
All right. Still got nothing except... So he didn't even play them. No, does he still have the Narset?
No, the Narset's gone.
Okay, so he just has lands. The subtlety.
Elemental.
Yeah, the subtlety.
Not sure. I
All
like
right.
subtlety.
And look at this nonsense hand. There's nothing here. All right. So now, Fabio is definitely pretty smoked. And it's 1-1 here, right? I forgot to update the thing.
Yeah, it is 1-1. But
Forgot to update the thing. Goddamn people wanting tattooed. Get out of here.
how dare you consider this tattoo shop a tattoo shop?
I don't have time for this shit.
Well, what is the nomenclature you prefer? Tattoo shop? Tattoo emporium? Mystical?
Studio.
A tattoo studio. Okay.
Yeah, studio.
Prefer emporium myself.
Emporium. I have enough people in here for it to be any kind of emporium.
Oh, is Grief not a 3/2?
It is a 3/2.
He has Turnburn or Fire Ice in his hand.
He's probably holding it till now.
Yeah, but what if he draws
Now.
Undying Evil?
Yeah.
Like,
I know. You got to think about these
he
things.
was tapped
but-
out.
Yeah, I know.
Kill it.
I know.
Make it dead.
Make it dead. So he's gonna favor killing the monkey, and he did have the thing.
No, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely... I put a premium on when my opponent's tapped out.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, man. I always assume my opponents are always going to have everything.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that deck is all about like fading things that destroy this creature, whether it be sacrifice, damage, whatever. So he's drawing into that. Like that's his goal.
All right. So that's a nice 3-point hit there.
Here,
Gonna put this thing in his hand. Can't cast it. Just lame.
I appreciate that he is now carefully tapping when he has 2 cards in his hand and one of them's Kahira. Now you're fronting, but you have counter spell.
Oh, a Stern Scolding.
So what does that do?
That is, I actually think it's a pretty decent counterspell. Dustin, I think, hates it. A lot of people probably don't like it. I think we've seen it misplayed a lot or overplayed, but it's counter a creature spell with toughness. I think power or toughness 2 or less. So it actually hits a lot in the format. It's specific, but it gets a lot of the heavily played cards.
It hits a lot of scams.
Of this deck's cards for sure.
It's everything except Fury. Yeah, that does seem good. 1 blue.
And a moon. Well, why not?
Yeah, I mean, you have one black for later.
No, no,
Okay,
he has
now,
the,
yeah,
it's free now.
Yeah, now you play it. And
You won't cast a grief, I guess, but this monkey might be getting through anyway.
Well, I like to see my opponent scoop, and I think if you play Blood Moon...
Oh shit, he's got reprieve!
He's got reprieve. It will not offer him that, but he does have one.
Alright, you can get a card off of this right now. It's gonna be so clutch. It will prevent him from playing it. Trade the monkey. He loses a life for the wicked roll. He lose 4.
Do they not trade? Does he maybe not? Didn't Ragvan have a counter?
Yeah. And Moon. Oh shit, he did it! It's all value.
I play. You played again, right?
Yeah.
You have to play it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. No reprieve.
Woo! You are casting nothing.
Yeah. Hey, he can still cast reprieve if he draws it, or Hallowed Moonlight.
Oh, a Stern Skull.
Yeah, that's
there it is.
I hate the end of Blood Moon, but he was calling that game anyway.
I mean, dude, you have to be super prepared for Blood Moon in this meta because it's fucking everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's everywhere.
That too.
And if at this point, okay, if you lose to a card that has been around since like 1994, like I don't know, man. Like you either accept it because you wanted to play something that you know loses to it, or you just fucking deal with it, man. Like you don't lose to it.
I've hit acceptance. I've gone through all 5 stages.
No, yeah, exactly. Same here. Like I know that like Tron's a terrible match for every deck that I play. Is that going to stop me from playing the decks I play? No, because the other decks I could play are fucking boring and I don't enjoy them. So I'm going to play what I want to play. And like, yeah, I'll lose sometimes. And it's fine. It's not a big deal. All right, so that goes to Thomas Books.
A couple good games there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely more interactive than some of our other options. So
yeah. We'll see those other options here in a minute.
Yeah, soon. All right. Stay tuned, folks. Be back in a minute.